Hello, and welcome to a special episode of Pardon the Dust, Dusting Off Construction with Caitlyn and Jillian. Typically, your hosts are Caitlyn and Jillian, but today it's just me, Caitlyn. I had the opportunity to interview a CEO you're all familiar with, Jeff Pollock of Idencia, as he celebrates his 10-year anniversary with the company. I asked him 10 questions as he reflected on his journey these past 10 years as CEO and what the future holds for Idencia. Next up will be the audio portion of this interview, and if you want to check out the full video, check it out on Idencia's YouTube or LinkedIn pages. Thanks. Jeff, 10 years as CEO. Wow. If you had to sum up your journey in 3 words, what would they be and why?
Wow was right. I would say learning, growth, and gratification.
Nice.
And the why is because it's been quite a journey. It's been something unlike I've ever done before. But that's where the satisfaction comes in. So,
What's the funniest or most unexpected thing that happened when you first started as CEO of Idencia?
well, it wasn't quite when we just started, but back when there were about three of us and in one office, and we were so busy we couldn't think straight. Um, I remember one morning I got up and it was dark, and I put on a shirt, came to work, and uh, went through the day. And at that time, there was only one other person there, was another guy. And I got home that night, and my wife said, "Why are you wearing your shirt on inside out?" And I said, "I had no clue." So the next day, I went back to work, and I said to the other guy, I said, "Why didn't you tell me?" He goes, "I didn't notice either." So I don't know if that's exactly entrepreneurial, but it does speak to how consumed we've been. Yeah.
What's been your proudest mic drop moment as CEO? And feel free to brag.
Thank you. I think that would be when a, maybe even just a couple of years ago, not even perhaps, um, we moved toward working based on our values as a business. And that was before then. As I said, we've been working really hard, and anybody that runs a business or is involved in a small business knows how that is. It's hard, but it's gratifying too. Um, so uh, I've been doing this. I've been an investor in the company. We have other investors. I had really been motivated by getting a good return, and I still am. But I got to a point where, with all that was going on and the busyness, it got to me where I was, for a time, feeling a little bit like I'm not sure that does it for me anymore. And just about that time, we started talking about what we are as a business, what our values are, how we want to act. And in the course of that, it really changed my view of what a business should be, and was a major difference for me in terms of right sizing my motivation. And basically, I look at it now as a result of that process as a business is a good business, a great business is there to uplift all stakeholders. Of course, the investors, you want to get good returns, but you also want to have a place where the people that come to work can find it a stimulating environment where they can find personal, professional growth opportunities. You want your customers to be able to be more productive, as in our case, as a result of what we're doing. And you want our vendors to do well by having their business grow by serving us. So looking at it that way changed my view of why I was here. And that made a huge difference for me, and still does to this day. I don't think much about a legacy for myself, but I do find that spending the latter years of my career dedicating to that kind of service is very, very gratifying.
What's one decision that made you think, well, this could go horribly wrong, but ended up being a massive win?
I would say that.
Yeah.
As I contemplated it, at first it was sort of like, well, everybody has values, we've got to declare our values. But as I contemplated actually not just stating values, but truly living or trying to live by them, I was a little bit concerned that am I off the mark here? Is it too sort of touchy feely? Is it not really good? Is it going to be a distraction? It turned out to be totally opposite. One great example of how that's benefited us tremendously is the people we have here. We have an exceptional team of people, and in the recent years, we've hired a lot, and I found that process has been much easier than I thought, primarily because our values are on the website. The candidates come and they look at the website, they see that and it resonates with them. So we get great people.
Mm-hmm.
So that would definitely be my answer to that.
If you had to explain Idencia to someone at a dinner party, how would you pitch it in under 30 seconds? Bonus points if it makes them laugh.
Well, or cry.
Or cry.
Yeah. Well, I would say, have you heard of cement? And they would say, sure, the world is built of cement. And then I would yell at them, wrong, it's concrete, and I'd walk away. And then when I want to come back for my dessert, I would probably tell them that we help our customers collect data to auto-generate reports and provide information that can help make them run their plants better.
That's pretty funny.
Probably better than yelling at them.
Yes. Yeah. Which I can see why you now said cry. Might make them cry if you just yell at them that they're wrong. What's something about the precast concrete industry that still amazes you or surprises you after all these years?
I wouldn't say necessarily surprised or amazed, but I am impressed with how close the industry is. A lot of industries can be really cutthroat. And there are competitive people here, to be sure, but it's more of a collaborative industry. Maybe that's because a lot of the times one plant that's located in North Carolina is not going to really compete with a plant that's located in Ohio because shipping is a problem there. So I think as a result of that, when they come together, they're really collaborative and try to help each other. And I like that. I think it's really nice.
What's one habit or ritual you've picked up as CEO that helps you stay on top of things?
Well, going back to the very early days, especially, every morning I would come in, I would look at our bank balance. I have an Excel spreadsheet that I would track checks outstanding that haven't cleared, basically balancing the checkbook, which is kind of ironic because these days you don't really need to do that with electronics. Mm-hmm. But I find that having that finger on the pulse of the cash is very reassuring, always.
If past Jeff from 10 years ago could see present Jeff now, what would he say?
Why are you still here? I didn't really expect to be here 10 years ago at this, 10 years later. But I think in all seriousness, he'd probably say, how did you ever learn all that you've learned about the concrete industry, which I had no understanding of prior? Not only the industry, but a little bit about the way concrete is made. And I'm not technical about it, but I have some understanding and sense about that. All of that has been a learning for me, which at first, frankly, was kind of intimidating. I really, it was a whole new subject for me. But actually, every job I've had in my career, I've had to learn new industries. So as much as it was intimidating, it's been very enjoyable too.
If you could have a magic wand to make one big idea happen for Idencia tomorrow, what would it be?
It would be that all of a sudden the customers of our customers want sensors in their products to be able to report wear and tear feedback back to the owner of that product, a state Department of Transportation or a commercial real estate owner. And the reason for that is because that was really my original vision of this, is that this is an opportunity to be able to provide smart products for the construction industry. I firmly believe it's going to happen, and I will be ready for that when it does. But that's part of why I've been here 10 years.
Waiting to see it happen.
Right. Exactly.
Still not yet, but
right, we're working on it.
The magic wand will make it come tomorrow. And lastly, what's your dream scenario for where Idencia will be in another 10 years?
It would be there. We would be a primary resource for producers of products used in construction to not only help through our offering make their own plants more productive, but also be able to offer to their customers these so-called smart products that can help them, therefore, charge a premium for what they're offering, extra value added service. They do better, our customers do better as a result, and that fulfills my original vision.
And so we just had 10 questions with Jeff on his 10-year anniversary. Is there anything else you would like to share?
I'm very glad to be here, but I hope I'm not in 10 years.
Thank you, Jeff.
Thank you.
So there you have it. 10 years as CEO at Idencia with Jeff Pollock. Jillian and I will be back in February with more regularly scheduled content. Our guest lineup for next month is super exciting, and we'll be recording pretty soon for that one, and I'm very excited for that. And as always, thank you, listeners, for your time today. Make sure you like and subscribe to the podcast and get notified when our latest episode releases. And if you've listened to a few episodes and have enjoyed them, please be sure to rate us or leave us a comment to let us know what you'd like to hear about or what we can improve. Also, if you like the content, give us a share. Sharing is caring, and we make this content for you. With that, we'll catch you next time.